Welcome everybody to one of the biggest episodes of the Sidney Jean-Charles Road to the Show. Today, we find out if Sidney Jean-Charles can break the single season home run record. We've watched Sidney go on an incredible season this year with 70 home runs to this point, 159 RBIs, a number of game-winning and walk-off home runs. It's been so much fun. But with 6 games to go, Sidney needs 3 home runs to tie the home run record and 4 to break it. That's not much time, but Sidney has his chance to make baseball history. We have already won this division. We have 103 wins, and we're likely to have the best record in all of baseball. So we can stay laser focused today on this home run record as the most important thing for us to accomplish. I wonder if the play today is to really focus on the power swings, really just try to get those 3 to 4 home runs. I say today, it's home run or bust. Nothing else matters. I think we're ready to see Sidney go for the record. 6 games left. Our first series of the day. All these games are on the road, by the way. We are taking on the Reds in Cincinnati, in a great hitter's ballpark. First inning, first at-bat for Sidney Jean-Charles. Now, I do think we're going to face some tough pitchers here, primarily against the Reds. Obviously, to start out, it's a tough matchup with Luis Castillo, who is very good against Sidney so far in this series. Sidney's only 2 for 13, but does have 1 home run off of him. He's got some really good heat. Got to be ready for it. And there's a look at the changeup in there at 87. Wow. We don't need those kinds of pitches today when we're trying to go yard. 0-2. All right, that's way up there. This is going to feel so weird to potentially do like 0-2 power swings, but that's what we need. All right, he's missed 3 in a row. Do we get something good 3-2, or will it be like the last time we saw Sid with all those walks he had to take? Castillo deals, and it's low. Wow. The first pitch of the at-bat was the only one to really swing at there, and I wanted to see it first. We can try to get our steals up here at the same time. It's 2-0 to Arenado. This is going to be fouled off. Oh, maybe not. We're in there. 16 steals here for Sidney Jean-Charles. It's really not that many. But he's getting too many extra base hits. That one is popped up. And the catcher should have a play on it. And Sidney does not homer in his first trip of the ball game. Didn't get a good chance to do so. So let's go ahead into the 3rd inning now. It's a runner on second situation. I am not doing a contact swing goal today. It's all power. With us trying to get on the scoreboard here, it's 1-0 Cincinnati. And the changeup misses there. That's one you can turn on. I'm just not really good at that location, so I tend to not be aggressive. 2-0 now. Ah, that's the first swing of the day. No! Chase the changeup again. There hasn't been a pitch to really go after in either at-bat. 2-2 from Castillo. Outside again. Really testing my patience here in the first couple plate appearances. 3-2. That's a base hit to right field. Sidney on top of it. They wave home the runner. He will score, and it's 1-1 St. Louis. They are ready for me to steal again with Sidney. Wasn't even really considering it here, but 2-0. No throw over. Let's go to second base. Oh, this time they got him. See, that was extra lead, but no lean, and a really good throw. All right, 2-1 Cincinnati. Andrew Benintendi is the hitter, lefty-lefty against Joey Lucchese. Probably won't focus a lot on the fielding today, especially because the wins don't mean much at this stage. I guess it's just seeding at this point, but we have a 3-game lead even on the Dodgers. So if we win one game, winning literally does not matter. 2-2 here in the 5th inning. He is really throwing that changeup a ton. His confidence, though, isn't sky high. That's impressive for me. Usually by the time the pitcher's thrown like 6 changeups, it's like max confidence, and it's all he wants to throw. And because he has that max confidence, he can consistently locate it. I swing at that one and not the previous fastball. Man, that's tilting. And it hits him in the elbow. Sidney will make it to first. That's the second, like, non-at-bat appearance because he's walked and now has been hit. There have not been many chances to swing the bat. And I missed the best one. Put on the double steal here. That would be awesome. Mostly because Sidney would be guaranteed a stolen base. And it's tapped by Arenado, a glorified bunt and a foul. Arenado back up the middle. It's a slow one, and they get the double play. Cincinnati out of the inning. Sidney no longer facing Castillo here in the 8th. Joe Hamill is the pitcher. Strike one going after the slider on the first pitch. All right, we get ahead now, 2-1. Put something in the strike zone for us. Swung on and missed. Way off there with the reticle. 2-2. Tough take there. What's it gonna be? 3-2 to Sid. Wow, just missed it. No way! I think I ended up late on that. The changeup got him there. It was so hittable. What was that? Our first game of the day is done, and Sidney only put 1 ball in play. A 1-for-2 stat line is what he's going to get, as the Reds do take this game in the bottom of the 9th inning with a walk-off home run, I would imagine. Only 5 games left now. We still need 3 to tie and 4 to take the lead. At least we know Sidney always has that multi-home run game potentially in him. But now we're playing catch-up. I think once we can get that first homer out of the way, that would make it easier. But, like, even in a 6-game stretch, you're not, like, given a real guaranteed chance of hitting a home run. Especially if I'm so focused on it here and I change my process a little bit, really pressing for the home run. All right, protecting there on a pitch that's a foot inside. You know, it's fine. No, strike 3. And I have been playing the show today. Granted, it was the show 21, but I've taken a lot of swings here in the past couple of days. So I'm not exactly cold right now, just probably pressing to get these homers. Take 2 versus Nick Lodolo. Up and away, ball 1. Let's see, against Lodolo, Sidney has no homers, and he's 2 for 15 lifetime. So a tough matchup here, batting as a righty. 2-0. 3-0, and I think that light's going to stay green. Lodolo not trying to give up 71. Late. Inside, ball 4. Sydney now has 2 walks on the day and a hit by pitch. I'm going for the stolen base again. And Sydney is not in there. Or is he? I can never tell. He's safe. He got there just in time. We're in scoring position for Arenado. Oh, just foul. You should know with Arenado, if it's down the line, it's just going to be foul. That one's hammered to left field. That's what it's supposed to look like, Sid. Can you do that? It is a 2-run shot for Nolan, who's put together an outstanding season behind Sydney in this batting order. We rejoin the game here in the 5th inning. Runner aboard, 2 down for Sydney. Over aggressive that time, strike 1. Up and away, and Sydney now ahead in the count. They have just pitched him so carefully today. They have not gone after him. And now we swing at one outside the zone. How many strikes have we even actually seen today? True thrown strikes. That's on the ground, a base hit to center. So we have 2 hits on the day. We're just getting on top of the ball is all. He hit that one pretty well. Deep into the gap. That's extra bases, and here comes Sid. Flying around third, perhaps through a stop sign. He's in there safely. I didn't even take a look at the third base coach. I trusted my eyes. All right, Thomas Farr is the newest pitcher in for Cincinnati. And we have seen him and have hit 2 homers off of him before. Back as a lefty now. 1 down here in the 7th. Bouncing ball back up the middle, base hit. So, again, just 3 ground ball singles. We haven't even put one in the air yet. Arenado struck out, so now it's going to be up to Paul Goldschmidt. I might try to steal here again, just feeling real aggressive today. Not the best jump, the throw is good, and Sydney is thrown out at second by Stevenson. So we're 2-2 in the steal win-loss department today. 2 on here in the 9th. All right, nobody down. In the air, but coming in is the center fielder. He will make the catch after a 1-pitch flyout. So that's going to be 2 games, no home runs for Sydney unless we go to extras, which we do not. So, only 1 game left against the Reds. I feel like we really need a home run in this game, because if we can get 1, then you just need a multi-homer game to tie. I sure don't want to hype up this episode and have 0. That's the worst outcome. Like, I'd much rather be, within 1 than, not get any homers today. All right, Justin Dunn is the pitcher here in Game 3. That is inside. How many first pitch strikes have we even seen today? So when it comes to Justin Dunn, we have homered off of him, and we're 3 for 11. So, none of these Reds pitchers was Sydney, phenomenal against to this point. We're expected to do better in the Pirates series. We face some higher ERA pitchers, some names I don't fear as much. 2-0. Runner goes, and he is out by a mile. So it's a 2-1 count. Wow, are you kidding me? Maybe my reticle usage isn't good enough to just go straight power. Because with a normal swing, I can hit that in play. But the power swing makes that reticle tighter, and you have to be more, dead on. Maybe I just don't go power now. No, I can't look at strike 3s today, man. Can't have that. Well, the bases loaded presents a very good time for Sydney to clobber that first home run. The goal is simple. The task, not so simple. Hitting a home run has been tough today. Ball 1 from Justin Dunn. I don't want a ground ball double play, man. Don't bring up those stats. Dude, my reticle usage is just like, what the heck's going on? Come on. Big pitch here from Dunn. 2-2. That's a tough take. I'm not even sure it's wise for me to take that pitch right now. But 3-2. Again, so many full counts in this episode. Fighting it off. And it's off the plate. Ball 4. Sydney now has completed 2 challenges, but has no home runs on the day. Arenado popped out, so it's up to Corey Dickerson here with the bases loaded. 2 strikes from Justin Dunn. And Dickerson into shallow center field, cannot come through. It's put away. Sydney is 3 for 7 now in this series against the Reds. Tie game at 3 here in the 5th. Unbelievable. They've done such a good job at being just a few inches off the inside part of the plate today. Fly ball, and it's headed out to right center. This one's going back. There is the first of the day, and Sydney is on the board. Oh, wow, I have not seen this in the entire series. Justin Dunn just got hurt on that throw. An MRI on his throwing shoulder will be needed as he allows the 71st home run to Sydney Jean-Charles on the season. We are on the board today, and now all it takes is a multi-home run game to tie it. 2 to tie, and 3 to take the lead. And that was a regular X swing. I think I'm just better, gives me a little more room for error, and I've probably hit at least 60 plus of the home runs this year with normal swings anyway. 4 for 8 now in the series. Cardinals have the lead. Here is Chase Petty. We've homered off of him before. And that one is up towards the neck area. Let's see against Chase Petty. We are 3 for 3 with a home run. So Petty has never gotten Sydney out. Either you think he's due here, or you like Sydney's chances to put something in play. 2-0 from the young pitcher. And he misses again. Fly ball, but not deep. I felt like that was a pretty good swing, and then I watched the right fielder come in and realized I was incorrect in my assessment. We're going to move ahead, though, to the 9th inning where Sydney has one last chance against the Reds. Lucas Sims. I just pitched with you, Lucas. How's it going in my Rockies franchise? I like that whole move he does where he jumps off the mound. I bet he never gets hit by a line drive. Maybe that's the thought behind it. I also bet he's not one to get a lot of ground ball plays if he jumps away from that spot. 1 and 2 from Lucas Sims. Those are just hunches, by the way. Just thinking out loud. It's what you do when you're sitting here in a room by yourself, talking into a microphone, playing video games. Also, the older I get, the more I find myself actually talking to myself. I just feel like I could focus easier. Like, you can think, but what if you talk to yourself? It's like stickier. Alright, I should stop. Strike 3, swinging. Lucas Sims just got us. Way too many Ks in that series. That's not going to cut it. The ball has to go in play. And overall, I mean, especially this season, Sydney has not been one to strike out a whole lot. So to strike out like 5 times in this series is pretty bad. It is now time for our final series of the season. We take on the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the lowest ERA out of these 3 projected starters is a 4.33 from Zach Thompson. We are not facing high strikeout pitchers. We're not facing high or like low ERA pitchers. This is it. Now, unfortunately, I mean, it doesn't really apply to Sydney as much. I'd love to see numbers on this, but this is a pitcher's park. I'm sure it still, like, applies to, like, the elite power hitters, but I wonder, like, if you focused only on, like, the elite power guys, does it really matter on what ballpark they're in? Probably to some extent. Or maybe it would have to be on the guys who hit home runs for the greatest distance, possibly. But I'm sure there are angles and stuff that come into play, at least with a couple ballparks, like with Fenway. Hard to hit a line drive home run over the monster there. Anyway, I gotta focus on the game, man. Adonis Medina. What is he from, everybody? No, he's not from the Rockies franchise. He's from the Rule 5 rebuild. Oh, that hit him in the knee. Okay. See, even Medina's thinking I'm getting annoying right now. Hits Sidney Jean-Charles. Nolan going after that first pitch. Gotta foul it back. I don't know what it is, but Nolan hits more fouls than anybody in Major League history, I tell you. It's similar to like when Peyton Manning would audible all the time in Madden. Like, I know once I get to this point, it's just going to take a lot longer. Nolan. Foul down the line. Backstop again. And is that a strike 3? It looks like it was. 371 average. It has stayed the same this episode. Sydney's going to be the Triple Crown winner. That's kind of like we bury that part because we're focused on the home run record, but he is going to easily be the Triple Crown winner for this year. I hope that goes in his stats and awards. Swung on and missed there. That was a big one. It was a power swing, too. Yep, under it. I feel like I'm not going to the corner there, but clearly I'm like doing flicks with the reticle and it's just not accurate. Strike 3. We are running out of at-bats. This is our third game to go. Medina here in the 6th with a shutout to this point. A low strike in there at the knees. And it's an 0-2 count. Strike 3 looking, man. This is more strikeouts than we've seen in a long time in this series. I only have one thing on my mind today. Hit a home run. It's 1-0. Medina going for a complete game shutout. He's only allowed 2 hits. So we go against 3 pretty good Reds pitchers. And then a Pirates pitcher who's having a career night. Bouncing ball to the right side. And they are going to retire Sydney again. And leave him with only 2 games to have a chance at breaking or even tying the record. The Pirates win game 1. If we can just get one more home run, we'll be in a situation where the next swing could be the one that ties it. You want to get within striking distance. Quinn Priester is on the mound now in the second game against Pittsburgh. Last 8-game average is excellent. We're just not getting homers. And a quick 0-2 count here for Quinn Priester. Maybe I'm too picky right now. On the ground, and it's slowed down by the shortstop, but he won't have the play. And it's yet another single for Sydney. There he goes. And Sydney to second, he's in there safely. 18 stolen bases on the day. 3 have come in the last 5 games. And this one is a fair ball. Long throw, and they got him at first.
The center fielder,
That's going to be a tough play. In comes Sidney, and the speed allows him to make a shoestring catch. Yeah, a lot of times that reticle pops up red, signaling you'll have to dive. But if you have speed, you might not need to. In the 4th inning, it's still scoreless. And Sidney just popped it up on the first pitch. Just missed. That was a good one to turn on, too. Man on first for Sidney. That's Sosa. Ball 1 inside. So probably this trip and one more today. High fly to right field. Sidney turns on a fastball, and it's number 72. One more to go, everybody. That's all it takes. We got a nice fastball up. He's one of the rare pitchers today who's actually tried to attack us up in the zone. And that's what I've been waiting for. 72, one behind Barry Bonds, and 73 in a season. And we now have our situation where the next swing can be the one that ties the record. That was so close. We're as a righty now. Camacho, the lefty, in the dirt and blocked. That one gets away from the catcher. Up to third base. RBI chance for Sidney. So now we have a guy who is all over the place. I mean, look at that spread. High fly right center field. Come on, get going. Back at the track. This one's gone. He's tied the record. 73 for Sidney. He's done it. One more, and the record belongs to him and him alone. It is the 2-run homer game, the multi-homer game I've been talking about this entire episode. Getting within striking distance. You know, it's like a football game when you just need the ball down less than 9. All right? You got a shot. Do we get one more chance today, you think? We scored 3. We probably do, yes. In the 8th inning. The next homer would be the record breaker. And by the way, yes, we are still, you know, I always play Hall of Fame difficulty. It's my go-to. I love Hall of Fame. Played this for a few years. Don't touch sliders. Besides maybe trade and injury frequency. But here we are. It's a 2-home run game for Sidney Jean-Charles. If he hits a home run, he will have broken the Major League home run record. He has currently tied it, the second in history. Ooh, I wanted that one. And the reticle was in the right spot to elevate it, too. Nope, curveball. That last home run, though, I was so confident that I was going to get a hittable pitch. He had thrown 2 wild pitches in a row, and I'm like, what if he just throws like a get-me-over fastball right here? And I think that's what I got. 0-2 now with 2 in position. Outside. Well, that's a lot of people showing up to see Sidney try to break the home run record. Ooh. Tough one there. Good curveball. And now he misses away, and we're evened up. Not particularly confident in any one pitch. And we just got to stay alive in the at-bat with that one. He throws good breaking pitches. That's just the way it goes. 2-2. Off the plate. 3-2. And it's off the plate, ball 4. Sidney works out another walk. This is likely coming down to the final game of the season. What a storyline that is, man. Final game of the year. If any player had a chance to do that, if they had 73 home runs going into the last game of the season, is that one sent to the gap and we're going to increase this lead. I love to see us keep hitting around too and have a chance to... I kind of let up there. I wonder if I could have scored. But back to what I was saying earlier. Hey, there's a guy from the Rockies franchise, John Curtis. But, I mean, if there was ever a time where someone had a chance to break the record, any stadium in the country, I think, would be filled the next day, right? Oh, we had one down. Oh, but I got back to third. So that guarantees another at-bat. A chance to get closer to him hitting again in the ninth. Now batting, the designated hitter. It's still rather unlikely, but every at-bat counts here. Baez fouls it off. It's still a 2-2 count. Pretty sure we played with him down at AAA, I want to say. 2-2. Baez fouls it off again. He's trying to go the other way, and this time it's going to be in play. Flied out to right field, and we'll see what happens in the ninth. Hey, the Pirates got back with a 3-run homer, but we go 1-2-3 there in the top of the inning, so unless they can score 3 here in the ninth, then I'm not going to just, like, miss a ball to give them a couple runs and try to get to extra innings. So Sydney's going to take care of this one. You're running? Might take 2 throws, but we should have them here, or not. They score. Single. They tied the game naturally. Are you kidding me? 7 unanswered to give Sydney a chance in the 10th? How poetic is this? Especially if this were the final game of the season. This is wild. I can't believe he has another shot in this game, and they're not going to give it to him. Oh, that's mean. Oh, the rug pull here by MLB The Show on me is an all-timer. And then they want to pick me off, too, for added insult. Not going to happen. That's what I'm talking about. In the air to right. Going back, and it's gone. Nolan with a 3-run shot. And the Cardinals are back up by 3. That one, a slider trailing away, but catching way too much of the plate, and Arenado stays with it. That's how it's done right there. Holy cow, they almost did that again. 10-9. What a wacky ending to the game. The Pirates' season is just about over, and they still showed us some fight there in the late innings. But everybody, thank you for being a part of this ride with Sydney Jean-Charles. We're almost time to play playoff baseball. This is like the best practice for it, though, because I feel like I'm focused in and dialed in for every at-bat, and that's what I need for the playoffs. But now, it is the last game of the year. It is a beautiful day in Pittsburgh, and it's the greatest day to go and have a chance to break the home run record. It is the last day of the Major League season. One swing is all it takes. First inning, Zach Thompson is the pitcher. Thompson was also in the Rule 5 rebuild. We have homered off of him before. 3 for 11 against him lifetime. Here we go. Game 162. And a bouncing ball to the right side. And a 1-pitch ground out on a fastball right down the middle. We've had some trouble getting under the baseball today. But let's move on to our second at-bat here in the third. And by the way, it would be nice to get 5 at-bats out of this game if we could get some offense going. There's a cutter over the plate. I didn't want to swing at that, but it would have been a strike looking anyway. 0-2 from Thompson. Wow, that's a good pitch. Good curveball there with 2 strikes. We fight it off. We don't want that one. Almost hit him. I think Sidney would leap out of the batter's box if it meant he'd have a chance at another swing. Wow! I just whiffed on it. The cutter's got me a little bit off balance. And a drive to right field! History is made by Sidney Jean-Charles. 74 home runs, crowned the king. He stands alone atop all of baseball. There it is, everybody, on the final day of the season. It went down to the wire. To the day before, and a few pitches in this at-bat to deliver the final blow. And that's what Sidney does. Oh, I have no idea what the sequence is here. The Pirates are all celebrating. I'm not sure Zach Thompson is. A curtain call in a half-empty Pittsburgh ballpark. That's nice. Wish this was at home, man. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm so happy this episode is going to deliver. He's done it. 74 home runs. And now, 75, maybe. Hey, we got one off of Camacho the previous day. Strike there on a splitter inside. What am I doing? I already got the record locked up with Sid. Now I'm just going to swing at that one. 1 and 2. That was a tough take, okay? 3 and 2. And a walk. Sidney has drawn many of those today. But yet, even through all the walks, the hit by pitches, and the strikeouts, it's worked. And every home run has been on a normal swing, oddly enough. Actually, that's not odd. That was what got us here. I went away from it, tried to do power swings. Nolan into right field. That should score at least 1. Sosa hits the brakes. On the ground. A nice play at short. And they turn 2. The inning comes to an end here in the final game of the season. This has been a lot of fun. The home run chase. There was a little bit, a couple episodes ago, where I just felt like, I don't know if we're going to keep up this pace that we need. But the multi-home run games, I think, make a huge difference. Or like back-to-back games with home runs. That can make up for a cold week sometimes. Because to get 73 to tie, you're very close to needing a home run every other day, and there's not a whole lot of room for you to have a bad month or like a series where you go over. And that might be our last swing of the season. Thankfully, there's absolutely no drama on this swing. As we finish up the at-bat here in the 9th, we go bottom 9, and it's Brian Reynolds to lead things off. Rockies franchise outfielder in the air to center. Sidney into the gap, and he will make the catch. The record is broken, and we have one more win to end the season. What a year for the St. Louis Cardinals. Sidney Jean-Charles, coming off the Rookie of the Year campaign, does break the Major League home run record by 1. 74 home runs. And I'm guessing we're about to see a podcast clip once we get back to the main menu.
He has done it. He has set a new record, a single-season record with his 74th homer of the year. John Paul Morosi, we have a new home run king. Tell us, what does this record-setting achievement mean for the game of baseball.
Those words are extraordinary to say. It's so rare in the game that we can say that we have never witnessed something before. Well, we've never seen 74 until now. And you're just seeing the reaction around baseball. For me to be able to witness it, you reflect back on your family, those that taught you the game, the stories of generations gone by, to then witness this and know that your dad, your grandfather, your grandmother, your mom, no one had ever seen this before. Right now is pretty extraordinary to say, and it really was a great baseball moment that transcended the game and brought new layers of history to this young generation of fans.
I can't believe we actually did it. There it is, 74 home runs for Sidney Jean-Charles, 167 RBIs. We end up with a 1290 OPS. I hear that's pretty good. And that was just so much fun. Wow. But with that behind us now, we need to look ahead to the playoffs. Because now, I want a World Series title. And the And the St. Louis Cardinals are a 107 win team. The number 1 seed in the National League. And it's time for us to find out who our opponent will be. Who wins the wild card games. So, okay. Is there only just one wild card game here in the show? They have us taking on Cincinnati here in the first round. So, obviously, these are very different episodes. The video will go as long as it needs to win the series, whether it's 3 games, whether it's 5. So, we start at home with 2 against the Reds. We'll see Luis Castillo and Nick Lodolo again. So, it's nice that, like, I just saw them. I'll see him again. So, that is coming your way next time, everybody. I hope it's a nice long run. My plan after this season comes to an end is to put the series away and do some other things on the channel. And potentially revisit Sidney down the road, maybe closer to the next MLB season. So, I've been doing this series since the game came out. There has been a lot slower rollout of episodes now the last few months with football season and Madden and everything. But I want to get through this season. I hope it's not the last we see of Sidney. I do plan to maybe do another season before the next baseball year. We'll see what happens in the future. But I'm ready for the playoffs. I'm excited. I want to win a title in one of these modes. But thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you found it satisfying and enjoyed your time on the channel today. Please leave a like if you did, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the playoffs against the Reds. Have a great day.